For millions of people around the world, brain fog feels like a permanent condition. A slow mind, a cloudy memory, a constant struggle to concentrate. Some describe it as thinking through thick air. Others say it feels like their brain is running on low battery. And over time, many people just start to accept it as normal. But what if brain fog is not permanent? What if it is not simply a mental problem? What if brain fog is actually a reversible metabolic signal, a message from your body that its energy systems are out of balance? Today we're going to explore one of the most important questions in modern health science. Can brain fog be reversed? And if it can, what biological systems do we need to reset to restore our mental clarity? To answer this question, we first need to understand what brain fog really is. Brain fog isn't a disease. It's a symptom. It's a signal that your brain's energy supply isn't working efficiently. Your brain requires enormous amounts of energy. Even though it's only a small part of your body weight, it consumes about 20% of your body's total energy production. This energy powers billions of neurons communicating every single second. When that energy supply becomes unstable, your cognitive clarity starts to fade. This instability often comes from three interconnected biological systems: your glucose metabolism, inflammation, and hormonal regulation. When these systems fall out of balance, brain fog appears. But the really encouraging news is that these systems are dynamic. They can change. They can adapt. And under the right conditions, they can recover. The first system that needs to be reset is glucose regulation. The brain relies heavily on glucose as its main fuel source. When you're healthy, insulin helps regulate how glucose gets into your cells. Your neurons get a steady supply of energy. Your mitochondria convert that glucose into cellular fuel, and your neural communication stays sharp and efficient. But when insulin resistance starts to develop, this system becomes less efficient. Cells struggle to absorb glucose properly. Your energy delivery becomes inconsistent, and the brain starts to experience subtle energy shortages. This is often when people first notice that feeling of brain fog. But studies show that improving your insulin sensitivity can significantly restore your brain's energy stability. When insulin signaling improves, glucose delivery becomes smoother, neurons get consistent fuel again, and cognitive clarity often returns. The second system involved in reversing brain fog is inflammation control. Chronic inflammation directly interferes with your neural communication. Inflammatory molecules called cytokines can alter the balance of your neurotransmitters. They affect the dopamine pathways involved in motivation, and they influence the serotonin pathways associated with your mood and cognition. When these inflammatory signals stay elevated, the brain struggles to maintain its optimal performance. But here's the thing, inflammation is not always permanent. It is highly responsive to your lifestyle signals. The quality of your sleep, your diet, your stress levels, and your physical activity all influence your inflammatory pathways. When that inflammation goes down, neural signaling becomes more efficient, and mental clarity often improves right along with it. The third system involved in reversing brain fog is your circadian rhythm. Your circadian rhythm acts as your body's internal clock. It coordinates your sleep cycles, hormone release, metabolism, and cellular repair. When your circadian rhythms become misaligned, maybe from inconsistent sleep schedules or too much light at night, your metabolic regulation weakens. Your insulin sensitivity decreases, cortisol release becomes irregular, inflammation increases, and your brain's energy stability declines. But when you restore your circadian rhythms, your metabolic systems regain their natural coordination. Your sleep improves, your hormones stabilize, and your brain function becomes clearer. One of the most powerful tools for restoring these systems is sleep itself. Sleep isn't just passive rest. It's an active biological restoration process. During sleep, your brain activates a remarkable cleaning system known as the glymphatic system. This system flushes metabolic waste out of your brain tissue. All the proteins, toxins, and inflammatory molecules get removed. This cleaning process happens most efficiently during deep sleep. Without enough deep sleep, these waste products accumulate, inflammation increases, and your cognitive clarity declines. But when you improve your deep sleep, this cleaning system activates again, and many people report noticeable improvements in their mental clarity within just a few days. Another key element of this metabolic reset is mitochondrial recovery. Your mitochondria are the tiny energy factories inside your cells that convert the nutrients you eat into ATP, the molecule that powers all cellular activity. Your neurons rely heavily on mitochondrial efficiency, but chronic stress, poor sleep, and inflammation can all impair mitochondrial function. Energy production becomes less efficient. Your brain receives less usable fuel, and brain fog can appear. But your mitochondrial function is highly adaptable. Regular physical activity stimulates mitochondrial growth. Improved nutrition supports mitochondrial repair. Better sleep allows your cellular energy systems to recover. As your mitochondria regain their efficiency, your neural energy production improves, and your mental clarity often follows. Your dietary patterns also have a huge influence on your brain metabolism. Highly processed foods can cause rapid glucose spikes, which are then followed by sudden drops. These fluctuations completely destabilize your brain's energy supply, but balanced meals that contain protein, healthy fats, and complex carbohydrates work to stabilize your glucose levels. And stable glucose levels support consistent brain energy, which can significantly reduce those episodes of brain fog. Some researchers call this metabolic. Stability for cognitive health. Stress reduction plays another critical role, chronic. Psychological stress elevates your cortisol levels. Short bursts of cortisol can be useful for mobilizing energy, but long-term cortisol elevation interferes with insulin signaling, increases inflammation, and disrupts your circadian rhythms. Over time, these effects create metabolic instability. When you find ways to manage your stress, your cortisol rhythms normalize, your metabolic regulation improves, and your brain function often becomes much clearer. Exercise is another powerful metabolic reset signal. Physical activity increases your insulin sensitivity and improves blood flow to the brain. It also stimulates the release of something called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF. BDNF supports neuron growth and repair, enhances neuroplasticity, and improves your learning and memory. Many people report clearer thinking after starting a regular physical activity routine. This improvement reflects that enhanced metabolic communication between your body and your brain. Another fascinating area of research involves the gut-brain axis. Your gut microbiome influences your metabolic health in some profound ways. Certain gut bacteria help regulate inflammation. Others influence your insulin sensitivity. Some even produce the precursors to neurotransmitters. When your gut microbial balance gets disrupted, your metabolic regulation can weaken, inflammation can increase, and cognitive symptoms may appear. But improving your gut health through things like dietary fiber, diverse plant foods, and balanced nutrition can support microbial diversity, which may help stabilize the metabolic signals affecting your brain function. And don't forget hydration. It plays a surprisingly important role in cognitive clarity. Even mild dehydration can reduce your blood flow efficiency, influence your neurotransmitter balance, and reduce your cognitive performance. Simply making sure you're adequately hydrated supports your circulation, which helps deliver oxygen and nutrients to your brain tissue. A simple physiological factor like hydration can sometimes influence your mental clarity much more than you might expect. Perhaps the most important insight from all of this modern research is that the brain is remarkably adaptable. Your neural systems are constantly responding to metabolic signals. When your metabolic conditions improve, your neural communication often improves as well. Brain fog, therefore, is not always permanent. In many cases, it reflects a reversible metabolic stress. When your body's energy systems regain their balance, your brain often regains its clarity. Scientists sometimes describe the body as an integrated metabolic network. Sleep influences hormones. Hormones influence glucose regulation. Glucose regulation influences inflammation. And inflammation influences brain function. Each system interacts with the others. Brain fog often appears when several of these systems drift out of balance at the same time. But here's the hopeful part. Restoring balance in just one system can start to improve the others. This is why small lifestyle adjustments can sometimes create surprisingly large improvements in mental clarity. Now, this concept of a metabolic reset doesn't mean you'll get instant recovery. Biological systems require time to recalibrate. Your sleep cycles might need several nights to stabilize. Inflammatory pathways can take weeks to decline. Improving insulin sensitivity may require consistent metabolic signals over a longer period of time. But your body is designed to restore balance. When the right signals are provided, your metabolic systems will gradually recover. And the brain often responds very quickly. This leads us to a remarkable realization. Brain fog may not simply be a frustrating mental experience. It might be your brain's way of asking for metabolic balance. It's a signal that your sleep quality needs restoration, that your glucose regulation needs stabilization, that your stress levels require adjustment, and that inflammation needs to decline. If brain fog is truly a metabolic message, then restoring metabolic harmony may be one of the most powerful ways to restore your cognitive clarity. But this raises an even deeper question. If brain fog can serve as an early warning sign of metabolic imbalance, could paying attention to these signals help us prevent metabolic disease before it ever fully develops? And if our brains are capable of recovering their clarity once metabolic balance is restored, what other early warning signals might our bodies be sending us long before we get seriously ill? Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe for more content on health and neuroscience. We'll see you in the next one.